Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Tea with MT. We are back once again oversharing, educating, and entertaining. I'm here with my girl Tomisin, per usual. What's his face? And of course, our beautiful, delectable, knowledgeable guest, Halima. Hey Halima, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hausa Chocolate.
The one and only Hausa Chocolate.
Okay.
Your daddy is in my DMs.
Yes, girl.
Today is going to be so exciting. I've been looking forward to today for the longest time because these conversations, I'm only here to be like, what the fuck? The whole time. Like, that's literally my goal for today. So, educate us as we get into our aperitif.
I'll do my best.
Our aperitif topic for today, we're going to be talking about aphrodisiacs. We're going to be talking about self-help, self-benefit products, and asking ourselves some very important questions. Are we not just doing jazz, low-key, and calling it self-help?
Are you people not just doing jazz? I'm not part of the we.
So when I talk about aphrodisiacs and self-help products, I mean things like the very popular cayenne matter, which I have learned today has some elements of jazz, but we're going to get into that.
Levels.
Things like pheromone oils and all them bracelets and creams and beads and
rings?
soaps and rings. Yeah, there's
Waist
like
beads, you know?
there's a whole spectrum of like products that are supposed to help you, and we always claim that, or the sellers, the vendors, they are everywhere on Instagram. They even have things that will help your tits grow, that will help your ass grow, that will give you hips, will slim your waist. Do you get so that?
Can someone please pass me notepad and pen? Because I think I'm gonna need that.
What are these
As long as
things?
it's not
If
jazz.
we're asking ourselves the hard questions, how do we come about? How do these people come about these products? Are we not roping ourselves into things that we don't understand? Do you have any experience with? Have you tried out cayenne matter? Have you tried out any of these? I have. I'll give you I'll yarn you about it. But
Wow.
I didn't. No, not cayenne matter, but I have used one of them body enhancement products before. So I'll tell you how that went.
And it wasn't brightening soap.
No, it wasn't bright. Fuck you.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't bright. So
Would we classify that as Kayamasa? Maybe not.
no. It
Just
was self help.
Yeah, self-help.
Self-help. I'm
That was-
crying.
According to some.
The self-help I know is aspire to inspire, but
Fair.
also.
Fair.
So have you tried out any of those things before?
No, I have not. You know, some of us are natural Kayamata. What? We don't need that. Kayamata is in my blood and my lineage. But I definitely have like experience with people that do them and have used them, and they report that they work. So not for body enhancement, just stuff that makes men enjoy the sex more. You know, allow you collect money from your men's or your, you know, no, your sugar pops. Things that enhance favor as well. So a lot of these things do come from the north because, you know, there's like, I'll say jazz is classified into two, and I learned this from one of my older relatives. She said that, you know, you can be a herbalist where you understand plants and you understand the inherent power that plants have, and then there's invoking spirits, and she's like, I'm not into that African magic type invoking spirits type jazz, but I understand plants. And I was like, how? She was like, yeah, they actually talk to me, they speak to me. So you know that, okay, at 7 a.m. if you pick this one, you can do this and do this. If you grind this and da-da-da-da. But it's kind of like, you know, that divine, it's like a supernatural connection that you would have to, and that's why they know, okay, this enhances favor, this is an aphrodisiac, you know. I mean, you know, Kayamasa, they always do that thing where they cook the quail and people eat the bird, and so there's the levels of, okay, you have research and books and your ancestors have told you if you eat this is the result, that. Then there's the whole jazz aspect of it where I have no knowledge of, but I know a bit about just using herbs to get what you want. Yeah.
Okay. I still need that notebook.
So I have tried out one of them body enhancement products. I'm not going to call out the vendor, but it was
As in,
I'm not going to call out the vendor, but it was one babe from Ilorin, and she sells all them things. I know. She sells all them things, including cayenne matter, including favor soap and all that. So me, I wanted to just try out, try and have the voluptuous experience for once in my life, I'm not going to tell you what part of my body I tried to enhance, but the process was very arduous and
Girl,
strenuous.
we know.
I hate you guys.
I saw your eyes. I was like,
But there were a lot of steps involved, and to be honest, the only thing that happened was that area got softer.
Okay.
It got softer, so it did feel nice, but it didn't grow like I thought it was supposed to grow, considering the amount of time and effort I put in. I mean, I followed it to the letter.
Yeah, so was it one of those ones where it came with like an instruction manual, like at 7 a.m.
do this, exactly. No, but it wasn't like jazz type or but it was like, okay, morning and night, do this and that. And so like at that point, I just started to believe that those people were like a scam. But when it comes to things like cayenne matter and whatnot, I know that those work. I haven't tried any of those personally, but I know people who have tried out cayenne matter and they said that shit works. Like it does
for
work.
anybody who doesn't know what cayenne matter is, can you explain what exactly it is?
So, thanks to patriarchy, woman is supposed to be good in bed, and things like that. So it's just like, our personal business as to how we're managing our bedroom affairs and stuff. So cayenne matter, I mean, that's like a generic name, but generally what it is, if anybody is selling cayenne matter these days, it's usually stuff that are aphrodisiacs, so things that will make sex sweeter. And then they have like different things like attraction oils or favor perfumes and stuff. So if you have the perfume on and you go and tell this lady, I'm gonna give me 500k now, immediately, those kind
Is
of
that
things.
not fraud?
Hey,
God,
so when it comes to why I'm not judgmental about those kind of things is when it comes to the supernatural, I'm like, if you believe in any standard religion, Judaic religion and stuff, if you believe in Jesus, you believe in miracles, then you should believe in the other side. And then I'm also anti-demonizing your own ancestral
religion.
So you can't say, I'm going to blacklist because I inherited Islam, I inherited Christianity from the other side, then all of a sudden all the things that my ancestors taught me and things that these white people remix, let me not even start shading all those I want divinity in divine femininity women and stuff. They'll come and repackage it for you, westernized, and you buy it. So so I definitely believe that it's good to be open-minded about certain things, but you also have to be aware that there are lots of scammers out there. I definitely recommend, if you really want to do this kind of matter, you go in up north and doing your research as people that are actually into, because many people on Instagram, you just come and post reviews and tell your friend to write, this guy gave me 1 million naira, and then you now rush and they'll chop your money, and now and then for the body enhancement ones, so the cayenne matter that I know, I don't know about body enhancement. I personally report Instagram accounts for fraud and misrepresentation. It's misleading and it's a scam, because why should you be selling penis enlargement? Because there are different variations of all of these penis enlargements and boob, this one and that one. No, I don't know about cayenne matter working for those.
Are they mostly focused on women though? Like, obviously, like you said, cayenne matter for the women. So
women.
There's stuff. You just said penis enlargement, so I'm assuming that there's stuff for men.
It's
very interesting that those things have been roped into cayenne matter, because that's not what I know cayenne matter to do, like for penis and or body enhancement and stuff. So like people that I know that actually make the cayenne matter, I didn't know that they don't have that under their program. So I feel like they've just kind of put it in an all-encompassing herbal remedies for issues that you would. Why would you believe a cream or a soap will make your dick larger? Like, what's going to happen? Are your muscles going to grow? Or is it fat? Or is it your skin are you going to get a growth? So it's like, please apply sense. I get it, but so when it comes to body enhancements, I don't even look at all these people that do body molding and body shaping and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of that on IG.
Those ones I don't pinch off. So I just feel like everybody's just packaging. The thing is, it's just the scam of beauty standards and people trying to look a certain way. So everybody's like, okay, I'm not going to try and kill you and drop your money in surgery. Let me see the way I'm going to use your head. So you kind of have to do your research, and it's everything you should actually generally jump to.
I personally feel like a lot of those self-enhancement products are actually tailored for women or towards women, because women are the ones who are expected to smell a certain way, taste a certain way, look a certain way. Do you understand?
Oh
Like
my God,
sexually.
don't even get me into those people that sell all those uni beads and vaginal steaming nonsense.
Do you understand?
Yo.
Like,
No. Please, ladies, do not put anything into your vagina. If your vagina doesn't smell nice, it's possible that you have vaginosis. And it is possible that it's because you're washing too much or you're using soap. Vagina is a self-cleaning. It's a self-cleaning organ. You don't need to put anything inside. You don't need to put anything to make it tighter. And not do your Kegels, girl. Buy Kegel balls, Benoit balls, exercise, clench, release, clench, release. Don't put any nonsense that people. Did you see that meme about one meme of Tom and Jerry? You know when Tom was mixing chemicals inside a bowl, they said all these organic sellers mixing what they don't know, and you get, because at the end of the day there's no ingredient list. You don't know what and what they mix for you.
Yep.
Some people go and carry okra soup and be doing like this, and they tell you like, oh, put in your
this
vagina,
is it.
your
To be
vagina
doing
will
as
become
it-
my dear.
Oh my God! And then they'll
Let's
show
relax.
videos, man, of like how your.
I'm like,
pussy
okay,
will
so
be
do
like,
you,
they're
so,
like, it
so
will
how is that gonna
draw.
work? Is it lube? So before your man comes, you carry okra and chip it in your.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me, what's going on there? Let's all relax.
You guys, I'm so stressed by this
Let's
conversation,
relax.
but I'm happy to learn. So this is awesome.
I think the worst part of it is that we do it because we are hoping for better sex. But a lot of the time, how many women out of every 5 women, 3 are sexually frustrated? Do you understand? So like,
better,
is it
men. Do
really
better, men.
working?
You see,
Is it doing us
these
any
men.
good?
The
thing
issue is the
first
men.
of all, we are educating the wrong people, or we are attacking the problem from the wrong side.
Yeah.
You know, I said earlier before, one of my life's missions is to close the orgasm gap. I do it for fun. I do it in my sleep. And a lot of times with sexual dissatisfaction on women, I'm not always going to blame the men, right? I blame the men, yes. But why I'm not always going to blame the men is because of purity culture, slut shaming. A lot of women don't get to understand their bodies. Even if we always clown niggas and say, oh yeah, can I say niggas?
Yeah, of course. They use.
You know, it was like, because I even put a video of, I'm like, okay, excuse me, everyone, this is the clit. You know, they don't know where it is. But even women, some people don't even know.
That's
they don't
true.
check their bodies. A lot of times, even with toys, you need to teach somebody how to please you as well. If I don't know that, a certain side, so with the sex toys itself, for instance, I'm like, okay, the clit suckers, it's not everybody's clits that can take extreme pressure at the top. You need to check the side, you need to check different corners. But if you don't know and you haven't explored your own body, a guy will just come and put it in and just like, oh, it's trash.
Oh my God,
so
that's
you
trash.
need to so you need to take responsibility as well, and you need to get to know yourself. There's this whole thing about putting okra soup inside your vagina. A lot of times, okay,
You mix it with small honey.
have you even vagina sweetener? What's going on? Have you even made yourself relaxed enough to get aroused? Do you understand? And then embrace lube. There's no shame. There's no sex therapist in the world anywhere. Everybody's a fan of lube. There are different kinds of lube, silicone based, water based, and sometimes take it easy. And that's another thing to it. You know, nigga just want to sex, enter. Hello.
You understand? There are things to happen
Calm
before
down.
that.
There's so much you can do by yourself, just by being. You don't just rush for results. Have you done what you need to do on your own end?
Yeah.
Have you now tried natural remedies where you can actually see, oh, these are the properties that are in this thing, and it is enhancing sex because it's making more blood flow to your vagina and it's helping you with arousal. Not just that somebody will just come and put it, then they'll post one WhatsApp story of review, then you now carry it and go and trick inside your bum, and then you now give yourself yeast infection because you went to pack what you don't know. Somebody mixed sawdust and honey and put in your bum.
Oh my days.
Just calm down.
But you mentioned that you sell sex toys.
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Okay.
Hausa Chocolate. Check my page.
Yo, you guys.
Check my page.
Okay, we're gonna put it in the description, so don't worry about that. But like, how in that business, what have you like noticed or seen about women that come to you?
So first thing, because of how like sexually open I am on Instagram about, just general, I want these conversations to be normalized.
Yeah.
Aside the fact that the first thing is I'm very anti-abuse, harassment, all of that. When it comes to sex, making sex that topic where everyone is hush hush, aside the fact that you're depriving yourself of pleasure, you're also opening yourself up to being, assaulted, being in uncomfortable situations and stuff. So generally, a lot of women, because I talk about these things openly, women are always coming to share their experiences. I mean, even men too. And like I said, a lot of this is purity culture, a lot of this is patriarchy. There are women who are dissatisfied, but they can't express that dissatisfaction because they don't want the guy to think they're loose. It's like, guy, I want to hang from fan today, but they don't want to talk based on this guy will come and cast me outside that I do usually like hanging on fan, Exactly. So what I've noticed is a lot of women too, they also want to take charge of their pleasure, but men also, a lot of men actually do buy the toys for their partners as well. So so the reception is really nice. Like, many people are very chilled about these things. They don't talk about it because other people don't talk about it. A lot of times you can gauge if you just throw something wild, out there, you see how people receive it, and then they'll now start talking, and everybody is free, because everyone is always in that, I don't know if this person is going to judge me, but if you keep that open space and stuff, there's generally lots of reception towards them. And then also, there are people who have tried it because of how I've been like, investing your orgasm, this one and that one, and I've explained how to use them, and some of them have generally had reservations in the past, or they've never owned sex toys before, and I'm just like, see, sometimes in lack of knowledge, people just think, sex toy. I just think, she's gonna bring a vibrating dildo. But if I line up different types of sex toys, you might not even know what they are. A lot of them too for women is clitoral stimulation as well. So you don't even need to insert it inside your body. Just drop it there. To do is what, 2 minutes, boom, everywhere is exploded, and you relax.
The underlining thing here for me is really just sex education, and it's crazy because I'm currently working on a program for one of my other side jobs, and I found out yesterday or day before yesterday or something that like 3 in 5 15 to 19-year-olds, 50% in Nigeria are pregnant, or teenage pregnancies happen in that age range. 3 out of 5 kids, and it's mostly due to poverty and mostly due to lack of education.
Yes.
And like, this is something that we on Tea with MT talk about a lot anyway. We have to educate young people, especially. People don't want to talk about sex because you're too young.
No, but I've said it that sex education should not just start from secondary school.
No.
As far back as primary school. Because these behaviors, people get, even if you train your kids properly at home, a lot of us, we were raised by each other, by our peers. You learn a lot of things. There's so many boys and girls who their first experiences about anything, especially boys, is porn that their friends were watching and stuff, So we need to be able to educate young children and tell them things are not okay, especially from consent training. That's like the basis of everything. If it's not okay, if I don't want it, it shouldn't happen to me. If she doesn't want it, or if he doesn't want it, I'm not going to do it to them. Because back in the, they're young kids in primary school. Especially with this iPad generation. Look at me talking like all those old people.
Well,
this iPad, because how many children are out there playing with sand? Aside in the rural areas and stuff, you can never really know what your kid is watching on the internet. And even with just like TV and everything, they get exposed to a lot. There are primary school children that know that it's funny to toss a pencil under a table and look at a girl's pants and stuff. So you need to actually take education down to primary school, and it's something I want to do. Like, I literally want to be able to go to schools and even if it's not in the curriculum, how you have all those extra classes on every Thursday we're going to do this, not just the reproductive side of this is the penis, there's sperm, there's pregnancy. In relations, don't touch. In fact, from the tiny things like holding somebody's hand, you ask permission, So there's actually a lot of work to be done. And people need to be more open, even with your siblings, because a lot of us, people just like to, I don't want to talk to my brother, I don't want to talk to your siblings, talk to your cousins, talk to your little ones, let's nip it in the bud.
That's facts. That's pretty much facts.
I want to know something though. Like, so on a final note, would you or would you not recommend Kayan Mata as a way to enhance your sex life?
So, on a personal point of view, some of us goes that WAP. So no, but okay. Generally, I would say use it with discretion. And I'm not really pro putting things inside your body, especially. But there are certain things where, what's that can happen? If they say, use this perfume, use this oil, use these waist beads, you can try it. Because I'm very anti-demonizing, what our ancestors have done. It's easy to say, God forbid, I would never do.
But like,
Because,
just
yeah,
know that you're
just-
doing mild jazz.
I mean,
just
no,
own it. That
I
you're
mean, at the
doing
end of
mild
the day,
jazz,
the world is
just
jazz.
small.
Everything is jazz. Because if you, what's your star sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Exactly, you believe in jazz. You know,
You get
Exactly.
jazz.
Fair,
It's just
fair,
where
fair.
your chest can carry you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As on my own yardstick for almost everything I do in life, I'm not harming anybody. I'm not harming my. Okay, I mean, if you're making somebody some money, well, but if you have the money to spend, yeah, the one that came to me. But just use it with discretion. Be careful what you put in your body. But there are actually genuine ones out there. If you're open to it, try it. If it works for you, get your bag, sis.
That's
or
it.
bro, I mean,
As in,
get your bag. Get your
just
bag.
get your
Get
bag.
your bag.
Okay. So guys, welcome to our segment, Pour Me a Stiff Drink, where we talk about some serious conversation. And in this episode, we'll be talking about harassment. Yes, look at me. Harassment. That's right. So I think we're going to take it from the angle of like harassment at work and in with people that are, your bosses, people in power, basically. Especially starting with Shafia. I'm so sorry if I mess up your name, man, but I'm going to call you Shafia in this. Shafia versus Leadway Assurance. Now, when that thread came out, and I think I saw it on maybe Instablog or something like that, I think you sent it to me. I was not shocked because it happens all the time. Like, this is normal now. It's almost normalized in this country. But the fact that, like, she first of all had the courage to come out and put that out there, and also just the fact that Leadway themselves, their responses were absolutely horrendous to the regular, normal human mind. I kind of felt, okay, this is a conversation that needs to be had now. Like, how do we protect ourselves as young women and even young men as well with people that are in power and have the ability to abuse, whether it's sexually or sometimes not even sexual, is like mental in a way. Like they know how to
just even making the environment hostile.
it's harassment,
as well.
right? So how do you deal with that kind of situation? Like, she obviously was really courageous to come out and talk about it. Many people cannot. I'm sure there are people in Leadway that had the same experience but have never come out and will never come out to say that. But they are in that situation. So how does one deal with that kind of situation?
So I think personally, the first thing you should do is understand what it is, understand what harassment entails, understand when you're being harassed. Because a lot of the time, one of the reasons why people don't speak up is because they don't even know that what's being done to them is inappropriate. Do you understand? So your boss is asking you to lunch. You say no the first time. You say no the second time, the third time, and then he gets hostile. And you, in your own mind, are just thinking it's one of those. It's not one of those things. And I think because it has been so normalized, it's just of recent that people are, I think because this new wave of wokeness has affected us all.
Amen.
So everybody is now like on their toes.
Get it,
And
sis?
I honestly applaud organizations that have taken it upon themselves to address it holistically, because I think that in the corporate environment, your employer has the utmost responsibility to protect you from any form of harassment.
Yeah.
And that includes calling people, asking people to take responsibility for their actions at the highest levels, no matter who the person is. Now, I feel like in most of these cases, when these things come out, they are as a result of repeated behavior that has gone, like someone has had it and they decide to speak up.
Yeah.
If organizations take it as priority to drill down and get the facts, majority of the time you will not get hardcore evidence. But when I personally believe that there's no smoke without fire. Do you understand? If 4 or 5 people have said, oh, this person has a tendency to behave in this way, even if I'm not going to outrightly sack you, I don't think you should keep that person as your goddamn company secretary. Are you joking? It's just common sense. Do you understand? Like, that is the face of your organization, and there is a scandal hanging over him, and instead you're there defending. Like, I'm not going to call out my organization, but like, when it comes to sexual harassment, you can't get away with it. the organization. And like for me, it gives me such a sense of safety because I know that, bro, the CEO can move to me. If I don't like it and he continues, I will fuck him up. And that is how it should be.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So like
Big facts.
the only way that you can ensure that people are able to actually speak about these things, because people like her now, this case that happened, she has left. For a lot of people who are still in Leadway, they are never going to speak about it because they know that, first of all, he's in power. The person that is doing it is in a position of power. They don't have anywhere to go. They can't just wake up and say, fuck Leadway and drop letters. So I think companies have the utmost responsibility to protect their employees, both female and male. Do you get?
Yeah, so I think one thing that stresses me generally about sexual harassment, especially with or against people of power, is it takes a lot of courage to come out, and sometimes you have to just get ready for the fact that you're not going to get the justice that you need. Because a lot of times, these people are protected on many levels. Look at this COSA person. A lot of times, and that's why when these kind of things, when there's any sexual harassment case and somebody starts to say, but the girl is, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I hate that character assassination that starts to try to happen to discredit what she's going through.
Yeah.
I always say that I'm going to accept my bias and say that if any woman comes and says, oh, I went through any form of harassment, rape, abuse, I believe her. I'm going to give that ballpark figure and always say 98% of the time I am right. It takes a lot of courage to come out and actually speak. And what pisses me off a lot of times when it comes to companies is you don't have enough evidence for me to fire this person. I've tweeted this like 100 times. How do you prove that you're harassed? Am I carrying a microphone? When people say, but she should have set him up. I'm like, why should I turn to a PI, fucking detective? And a lot of times these things come. Apparently, Shafia quoted something that he said, and she said he was like, you be acting innocent, but you know you're a bad girl.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to keep my recording on to catch when you say those kind of things. How do you prove those things? That's why I believe that a lot of times we need that community support. So even if, because the law is always going to be an ask, the law is always going to ask for evidence. Due process is going to ask for stupid shit and say, oh yes, well, if you can't prove it, you don't have witnesses, XYZ, then we cannot bring this perpetrator to justice. So what do we do as your community? Ostracize these people. You have to shame these people, and sometimes that's action. Oh, I'm all for calling out. I will drag you. Like a lot. I said this to you on my story one time. We have this, even women, there's so many times, if you sit down and just think, okay, across the, full range of my life, across my whole timeline, have I been harassed, abused, assaulted, or even raped and stuff? Let's not even go to the extreme of rape. Just think about how many guys you have cut off because that guy is dodgy, that won't start touching me. We're so used to just flinging the guy away without checking him and telling him this is what you fucking did, without announcing to everybody. Guys would rather tell your guy that don't go to that guy's house, my head is like this, but you're still hanging with him. You're still popping bottles. You're still posting his business on Instagram. Come for their bag. Ostracize these people. We need to come together as a community, because the number one thing is support. Nobody is going to come out. You're not going to encourage other people to. That's why when they out one abuser, everybody starts going up. If you open an unknown page and say, who do you want to call out today? Women will rush in the thousands because of that protection or that cloak of okay, this is safe enough for me to share my story. But then it's like, what actually happens after that? We really need to do more. I'm all for work. I'm all for violence. You need to do more. Express your displeasure. Because if you don't say anything, if you just accept that, this is just normalized, nothing is going to change. We actually have to do, and if I want to be 100% fair, a lot of companies do put these processes in place, but the thing is, always with the law and legal systems, there will always be that we need hard evidence. We need something, because at the end of the day, that person too can sue your ass that you unlawfully discarded them or dismissed them and stuff. So it's really dicey, but I know that organizations do actually try to make safe spaces and stuff.
Exactly.
HR, they do actually have meetings, they talk to women and everything, and even so at work where I used to work, I did actually complain to HR, and I was like, okay, we need to do a sexual awareness campaign, and I'm like, and then they actually did like courses for everyone to explain what is abuse, to say to tell people that some things. Oh, how was your night? All those kind of things. Like I hate
Not
that
cool.
question.
That's
you know?
not cool.
It's personal.
Why this
Some
one?
people
This
don't
one that
like
you're
it.
tired today.
Yeah.
What were you doing all night? You know, because a lot of people don't even know what harassment is. Even men, they don't even know. Me, like I'm somebody who I'm such a compartmentalizer, so I'm not somebody that anyone can come and hold me. I used to check even IT guys that'll be touching interns and anyway, don't touch her because some people are uncomfortable, and you know, people that
And
are
they can't
grateful
say
for
that.
their jobs, they will just be like. Let me just maintain. You can't fucking try that with me. But I cannot assume that everybody is like me. Me, I will disgrace you. I will shout. Why are you touching me?
But not everyone's like that.
Exactly. And like I don't even believe. Well, I'm not hugging you at work. Like maybe I have 1 or 2 work friends. I don't play that shit. Stay the fuck away from me. You know.
But
So-
there's so many different types
Angles,
of
harassment
as well. Like I just remembered this story that a very, very close friend of mine told me, and it's funny as you were talking, it just like came back to me. And she works at a PR company, and she was new. She was the newest person there, and her manager was moving to her, but she has a boyfriend, and she really wasn't into him like that. He's not exactly good looking or has money, so.
Exactly.
Sorry. But when she told him no, he started to do specific things to her. Like she would come into work and there's an intern on her table instead of like on her, and then he would tell her to go and sit where the interns sit.
So
or
trying
like
to embarrass her and make the
or like
environment
do you get
hostile.
no, I'm not going
picking
to
on her
picking
for-
on her and all that,
yeah.
and that's called targeted harassment. It's not exactly like he is being sexual with her, but he is inciting the ability for someone for her to make her uncomfortable rather. And I just think that's something that people, like you said before, people may not even know they are being harassed because in their mind he didn't
Just-
touch me.
Exactly.
He didn't.
He's just being an ass. My
yeah,
boss is just being
an ass.
wicked.
But that in itself is harassment. That is targeted harassment.
It definitely is. It definitely is. You know, making somebody's environment uncomfortable or hostile for them is harassment.
Yep.
And a lot of it's bullying.
That's it.
It's literally bullying, and it's really not okay because it's not everybody that is going to want, you know. But it's one of those ones where you don't sleep with me, I'll show you. You know?
get.
And the thing is, a lot of times, and it can be really stressful and really petty when it's people that are up there, because sometimes in a lot of companies, all of them like this is a network of just bad behavior.
Yeah.
When interns come, when new staff come, it's like fresh meat for us, you know. And then sometimes some people will say stupid shit like, well, the girls too, they want to follow. I mean, if it's that the girl too is following the guy for money, and she too, you know, it's like I know what I'm getting from you. You know what you're getting from me. Cool.
But
But even then, I don't necessarily. You know how they always say that if there's sexual relations where the power imbalance is too much,
That's exactly where I
that
was
fucking
going.
power
Yeah.
imbalance. A lot of times it's pressure. They don't necessarily. If it wasn't the girl that went to make those moves, that okay, this guy has me, you know, as part because I remember there was one time when one intern reported, and I was like, this person is harassing me, whatever. And she's like, but you bought a phone for me, and I'm like, but you collected it now. And so she's like. And so I could tell that, you know,
Should she not have collected
I
it?
could tell that one too, her one eye, she had long throats, do you get?
Okay.
So I told you, just be careful, because you need to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
You get? It's different if they come to you and then you're now scared to now say, but generally, just avoid that. When the power imbalance is too much, I'm just avoid it.
Because I was going to say that there's a very fine line in between like you wanting something when, as you said, the power imbalance is too much. Imagine like someone who's like a manager and someone who's like a cleaning lady or a tea support staff, you know. A lot of the time, there are little, like, I don't want to call them like innuendos, but there are little threats that come about in the conversations that they have. When you can't even call somebody by name, every conversation is mass, sir. Do you understand? For that alone is already like an imbalance.
And the average Nigerian even has that mentality, and that's why there's some of us where in the streets they say we're arrogant, we're proud, and I'm just like, see, anybody that is working for you is offering you a service. You are paying them to be there. Nobody's your slave. That whole kneel down, like I've never collected any of that.
Kneel down.
Like,
you've not
let's see,
seen,
let
my
me
dear.
see. In the place
Like,
that...
you know, there are places where imagine a whole NYC and just like you're doing NYC, they're sending you to buy amala for what?
Do you understand?
The fuck?
So like in
never believe.
an organization that I have worked in before, the zonal head of that organization took like a liking to me, and then he called me one time to come to the regional office, and I went there and he's like, you you're working in this place. You just joined. And he wrote down a piece and he said, you are going to come. I want us to do dinner. What are you doing tonight? And I said, nothing. And he's like, I want you to. And I tried to give that whole, oh, no, sir, I'm a Christian. I don't know that. And he's like, what, how old are you? Come and meet me at this place. He didn't threaten. He didn't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Obviously, so imagine how she would feel in that moment.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's how I'll lose my job.
And that is the situation that most of these people find themselves in. Do you understand? So a lot of the
literally
time,
just described is another kind of harassment. Is
yes.
general.
No, I mean just because that kind of thing. It's undue. Is she would even if she went under duress.
Yeah.
It was literally pressure.
do you get?
Those are like subtle threats. Like, what are you saying? Meet me here. It's like the or else is silence.
You understand?
There's one that you touched on, but we didn't really get into, which is financial harassment or financial abuse. I had a boss that because he was upset with me, did not pay my salary.
If people want to come and start sharing their employment, so I thank God that I can't relate to. I've just worked in structured organizations where your salary is not coming from somebody's feelings and stuff. Places where people sign checks. I mean, I've heard that there are places that your guy is buying a Birkin for a side chick, but he has not paid salary for 4 months. Nigeria and the labor market. If you want to talk about people suffering, that's a whole other conversation. See that babe that they expose on Twitter and stuff. And the thing is, there are people. I used to be like, okay, why the fuck won't I be paid for 4 months and I'm still going
working there?
You need to check your privilege too.
Yeah,
because some people, they still keep going with the hope that at least
someday they'll be paid.
I mean, there was this thread of somebody who he posted the letter he got from, I think, Home Office or so, where they said you want to come for exam and you're working for the government, but in your bank statement I've seen that they've not paid you salary. You want to tell me a whole government is not going to pay you a doctor for 4 months? Baba, get out. Just imagine that kind of nonsense. So when it comes to that financial abuse, and Nigeria is a poor country. A lot of people are even people that are forming, we have good job. Convert your money to dollars and you see that you're actually poor.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, people have, there are people that were sending their NYC allowance to their families.
Yeah.
So you can imagine people that already have that mindset. When they get jobs, they see somebody paying 100K, 200K, 300K. They will take anything. They'll chop the abuse. At least their families are okay. At least they have a roof for there. So it's really, really bad. We need to do more to support each other. We need to do more to punish those people in power. That's why I'm all for violence, because before we should still work. I believe in holistic attacking of everything. We're going to fight through the legal methods. You're going to fight for policies to be changed. You're going to fight for people to be punished and everything. But on a grassroots level, we're going to disgrace you. I will disgrace your children too.
I'm dead.
Just have an abuse. Get out.
I'm so dead.
And at a general or bird's eye level, companies do need to take ownership.
Yeah,
in the end, you are the first point of action. You are the first backing that anybody, especially in the corporate sector.
It shouldn't be. And that's the thing. So structured environment.
Women and men, low Keisha. Women and men. Because when it comes to the corporate sector, I put it to you that men get harassed as much as women. So
I would say, I'm not in the corporate sector. I haven't been for like majority of my working life. I've been in the music industry, and I know
that one is.
Do you understand?
Messier.
And I know that it is almost equal. I know for a fact that like there are lots of male artists that I have worked with that have literally told me of in their ways to come up.
Yeah,
they've had to sleep with women in power.
It's the power dynamic. Like, it affects everybody across board.
Yep.
Like, people who are in power, and I honestly think it's just a toxic cycle, because they probably went through the same thing when they were younger. So of course now they're like, of course, me too.
I actually find that shit so ridiculous. That whole cycle of I was abused, so I need to abuse people. It really is a mental thing, it's sick. I mean, it is, but
don't you think it's the same thing as in secondary school? You are the senior. You are once a junior, and then you couldn't punish anybody. And then you become a senior. Then you start punishing everybody for anything.
I'm very anti boarding school, and Nigerians that have been to boarding school, I'm like, the day that's why I don't even want to talk about it on my Instagram. Yes, because I'm like, yes, well, there are going to be some funny stories, but it's going to end up turning to trauma unleashing.
Yeah,
and sometimes like that's why now I'm trying to get my psychology degree and go really deep into it, because I don't want to always. I need to be able to have the capacity to,
Talk.
you know, exactly, you know, to hold this kind of heavy conversation. I don't want to come and trigger you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what do? I can link you to a therapist and stuff. But it's actually really sad what people go through, you know, with regards to, you know, abuse and then also perpetuating that cycle. So you also kind of have to have that mental check that because it happened to me, it doesn't mean I should pay it forward. But it can be deeper than that because trauma unleashes all kinds of behaviors. But also see even Nigerians, young Nigerians like us, we talk about this country is shit, but there are so many people that I know, politicians' children that are already being prepped and primed
to take over.
And then what did they say? They're like, if I enter there, I'll chop my own. And it's fucking stupid. So how do you want things to change? But it's not everybody that cares about the community and stuff. So we care, you know, we have our pitchforks in our pocket. If you fuck up, we're going to choke you.
And I think like, I just feel like this topic was very necessary for now, and it's something that we need to like individually and as a community just talk about a lot more.
All the time.
So I hope like you guys learned something and not just sitting down there twiddling your thumbs, thinking about all your friends that you're still fucking with that you know are rapists, abusers, and harassers.
I've said it before. It's not about by going on Twitter to say do better G, and then 2 minutes later you guys are bantering over football and stuff.
Call it out. Ostracize them.
Like don't go and you're going to do Dorime with the nigga. You know that this nigga raped somebody, but you're drinking his drink.
I want to just shout out one of my friends who like I just think he is in a circle where there is one of their friends. I guess they're friends since like primary school, and this guy was outed during I think early last year for raping someone, and the guy came and said he's sorry and all this shit. But lots of like the guys that were around him before, they kind of still hang out with him. I just kind of gauged a few of them like, you guys still hang out with this nigga. But there's one of my friends, man.
He blooded this nigga. I love it.
Every 5 minutes, if one of his friends should post a picture with that guy will put that picture on Instagram and drag him to filth.
I love it.
Every single time. Like it's almost every weekend now. It's crazy.
It's good. And the thing is, for men, why I've come to realize that why a lot of niggas do this shit is bros, I'm gonna have your back because the day my nyash should open, I'm gonna need you to have my back too. Because a lot of them are guilty. Because even in this harassment and abuse things, there's so many guys that don't even think that certain things count as abuse.
Yep.
Till tomorrow, there are men that think that my presence in your bed is consent.
Yeah.
Or she agreed to come to my house. There are men that think that I must coerce this babe to having sex with me. That women know is no light.
That she doesn't know yet. Exactly.
You know? And on that front, this is where I always drag women to. Because I'm somebody who will always support women, but we also need to take responsibility in terms of let your no be your no.
Yep.
Don't say because I don't want to come off as easy. I'm going to now let him chase me small and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking has urges. Everybody is fucking having sex. If you don't want to have sex, it's okay. But if you're doing it, it's not your business. I mean, you shouldn't even be sleeping with somebody who thinks, oh yeah, I've slept with her now. So, like, and I always say this thing to guys. If you sleeping with somebody has reduced somebody's worth, who is the contaminant? Is it not you? That means you are the depreciating assets now. That means you are the one that spots a market.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh yeah, I slept with her, so I bet she's easy. Are you fucking stupid? These are the things that perpetuate that cycle of abuse. Let your no be your no. Let your yes be your yes. Don't flash green lights and say, oh yeah, you know, the guy needs to chase me and this one and that one, because this is what's going to cause confusion. Because there are still some women till today, you think that, oh, we've been making headway with having this conversation, but there are still some women that will refuse to how many women even move to guys first? In terms of relationship, I've heard that. But if you want to smash, as in me, I'm a firm believer in I'm not going to wait for the best of what moves to me. I select my mates, bro. If you are worthy, excuse me, sir.
Preach.
Excuse me, sir. Are you ready to enter my bed and off your pants? If not, everybody just chill. Take responsibility. Don't wait for whoever comes to you. Then you now pick and you start managing and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Own it. Own your sexuality. Like this is 2021. Nobody gives a fuck. Like I know it's not easy. Purity culture, religion, and all of that. But life is so much freer on the side where you can be yourself. You can express the full range of your sexual freedom. Just think about all the pleasure that is waiting for you when you're in a safe enough space where you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can be like, guy, put this microphone in my asshole. That's how it is. You know?
On the flip side, I think that the same also goes for men. It is possible for someone to start with a yes and it becomes a no midway. You should learn to take that L and move on.
Definitely. Consent, and I say this thing, I can withdraw consent after 3 strokes.
At
Baba,
any
remove it.
given time.
At any time, it needs to be, consent needs to be present throughout the whole process. If I say that, and that's why I always tell niggas, read body language, but everybody wants to form Ray Charles. Silence is not consent.
Do you understand?
If a baby is freezing,
This bitch said Ray Charles.
if a baby is freezing, ma'am, are you okay? Is it all right? Should I continue? Because sometimes, and I always say that, it's not easy because a lot of times too, women are scared. There are so many women that have given in to niggas because at that moment they don't know. It's like, it's better for me to just, so that he will do let me go than to get raped.
Facts. Big facts.
There are so many times when women don't feel safe enough to speak their mind. So you too, it should also be your responsibility, knowing that there's already a power imbalance. You should have that responsibility where you make sure that the person that you're sleeping with is also comfortable. Auntie, you're not responding again.
Everything
Is it okay? Should I continue? Are you okay? Should I stop? End of story. But no, niggas wanna, as in, they don't want to know. I mean, you can even be frozen. There are so many people that have slept with people that are not moving.
Yeah, as in
Anything. I'm like, how
no sound, no movement.
How deep is that knot that you want to bust that you don't give a fuck that the person that you're sleeping with
is basically a dead body?
Do you get?
Like, come on.
Okay, guys. I think we can bring it home now. That being said, and transition into our nightcap topic, which is my favorite part of the night. We're going to be giving you guys tips and tricks. You know now, our tips and tricks are always amazing. So don't go anywhere. We'll be going into tips and tricks for the sugar baby lifestyle. Hey guys, so for our nightcap, we're going to be delving into a very key conversation for us baby girls and boys in this Lagos Buhari times. You guys know like how tough it is, like food prices, rent, everything is on an all-time high.
Sorry, Grand Square bread is now 1,200 naira.
You get like everything, bro. Chicken Republic refuel is no longer 500. I swear.
I
it's
don't
not
eat that shit.
Nah, but the average Nigerian does. So it's affecting all of us, and it has become sort of pertinent that we find a backup plan for our finances. So that brings us to our conversation. Ladies, do you think that a sugar daddy in 2021, is it a luxury or is it a must-have? As a young upcomer.
See, we have a royalty in the building.
Everybody think I'm more royalty sugar. I mean, tell your daddy to message me, Sha.
But like, I believe you can take this question because I don't know how I'm like,
feel about it?
Yeah, not like I feel a kind of way, but like I don't know if it's a luxury or if it's like something that you must have. If you have it, good job, girl. Can I be your bestie? We can share the,
the proceeds.
We can share the proceeds. But me personally, I can't do it.
So, I would not necessarily say it's a must-have. It's a good to have. And I think that, as with everything in life, everything exists on a spectrum. It is where your chest can carry you to, You can be, just because you want to be a sugar baby, it doesn't necessarily mean that...
And you have what it takes.
No, it's not even... you can have what it takes, man. Fake it till you make it, sis. Anyone can be... Men are thirsty. They don't have fucking... Let's not even go into that. Anyone can be a sugar baby. But I think, like I said, when it comes to existing on a spectrum, is where your chest can carry you to and the kind of sugar baby that you want to do. Do you want to be somebody's girlfriend, somebody's official mistress but he's married? Do you just want to be a sugar baby to a divorcee or an old man? So there's some people that they don't vet. As long as money is flowing, I'm gonna follow you. There are people that that do sugar baby lifestyle, but it's like I want ballers only. I want to follow footballers. I want to follow exactly. You get, so there are different levels to this shit, and then the things that you also do as well. So now, are you ready to go to Dubai for them to shit on your chest and you collect your $40,000? Or
that's what I said. When I say have what what it takes. That's what I mean.
said.
It's not about physical. Like, can you go through it?
It's levels. You can actually do sugar baby, but lifestyle has levels, you know.
Yeah. But can I
It's
ask
just a little
something?
shit, girl.
Do you?
Girl, nobody is shitting on me.
40K.
Wait.
Keep your
But
fucking 40K.
What is the definition of a sugar? Because you just said you're dating an older divorcee. That's a relationship. You're just dating an old guy.
So you can be sleeping with an old person just for money. If you're not, do you understand?
So that's
At the end
what
of the day,
it
consider
is.
a sugar daddy based on, I'm giving you sugar, you're giving me.
So it has to be transactional.
Exactly, it has to be on that transactional level and stuff. But there's some people that are sugar babies, but they go and fall in love, you know. So it's really, and sugar babies have escalated into marriage. So I feel like, as with everything in life, you should give measure for fluidity. There's no one sugar baby must be old man, young girl, she's sleeping in for money and stuff, you know. So it's relative. It's relative to what you want. I mean, some of them want to go in and overthrow, you know, the residence madam, and some have been successful, you know. So I'm not gonna play a hate and stuff, but I think as with everything, you just need to know like your limits and stuff.
I feel like that's the first don't. The first don't is don't fall in love. Okay, that's mommy. That's the first don't. I mean, if you fall in love, then
if you fall in love, he must be worth it, Sha.
You understand? You are entering into a different level.
You can get that client matter and destroy the powers.
You understand?
You know, if you're ready to take it on that global level and stuff. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So let's quickly run through a few do's and don'ts for the sugar baby lifestyle. If you do decide to get into it, we're here to guide you so that it's a relatively smooth journey. So the first thing, as we've said, is you should do expect that your sugar daddy is going to want to have sex. I think it's just in the definition of it. Like it is, if you're getting into that kind of situation, the sugar for you is money. The sugar for him is the physical attention, what he's going to be getting from you. So don't go into a sugar baby relationship expecting that he's just there for your time, because a lot of the time it's not just your time. There are people
I
who
recommend
don't.
scamming these niggas too. I recommend scamming them. Use them, chop the money, and don't drop shit. But
this is a quote from Hausa Chocolate, okay?
Scam the streets. What I'm going to say is, you are not likely to hammer as much if you don't put out sha. But you can chop 500k here, 300k here, you know, here and there, make him buy you things, so you just butter him up, you know. And then the thing is, and one thing I'll say is how you present yourself also determines kind of, you can't come off as a hungry girl, you know. If you're like, say, I'll be bad bitch, I don't need your coins, you know, they're gonna wanna show you that you need it. So I'm like, yes, but I don't want you to buy, you know. So you have to play the game. You have to play the game.
Okay. So the second one I would say is you should be direct, because as we have said, it's essentially transactional. Be direct about what your expectations are. If your expectation is that every time I call you and I say, oh, I'm hungry, I expect food, let me know. Let's know from the beginning. And he should also be direct, so you don't go into it, because I think that's the reason why people catch feelings. Because you're not really keeping it as a transactional thing. You're not really defining boundaries. So someone is saying, I miss you. And you're like, oh, I miss you. Miss what?
To be honest, I don't even think you should be telling your sugar daddy you're hungry. You should be bad bitch enough to sort that out. Except it's like, oh,
I mean, there are levels to
pasta.
it.
Let's go to Italy. Do you
Ah,
understand?
see.
Can't be doing I want this. How much is
I
food?
want appetino.
I want pizza. So you want your sugar daddy to be sending you 10k. That's not, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It's positioning you get. Like if Baba is giving you your allowance of this thing, 1 million, and so you shouldn't be disturbing him. But except like, I want to go and eat RSV for 20,000 naira steak and everything.
I want to go to slow Lagos, okay?
100k for lunch.
Okay,
Imagine if your sugar daddy is sending you 10k for lunch, please. You don't have a sugar daddy.
You have a boyfriend, an old boyfriend.
No boyfriend.
He's an old lover.
Bro, no.
Okay, so the final one, I think this is the most important, is understand that he can break up with you at any time, just like a regular boyfriend. So please, especially to the rich ones, ladies, don't spoil the road for future sugar babies. Like, as Bobrisky would say, come close to me. Keep your mouth shut. Don't go and post pictures of somebody's ass because they said they're not doing it again. If you're in a sugar baby relationship, you are there to cash out, my sisters,
Cash
my
out
brothers.
and
Get your money.
And then you can also get client feedback now. It's like, why am I not
I was
retaining my
retaining.
customer retention?
Grow your network.
exactly.
His friends. He has to
Exactly.
have
Move on. That's why I'm saying, if you want to be a bad bitch sugar baby, why are you catching feelings? Okay,
get-
you drop me. I'm even going to follow your son. You know, it's okay.
Don't scatter
Next.
things for
You
yourself
think that
and the
you're bad,
ones
I'm better
after
than
you.
Exactly. You know, you can't be a smelly. That's that's why I said it's all about, you have to have that self-worth, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to stay my own wife. I've chopped my money. You don't once again, thank you. Peace out, on to the next. That's it.
Move on.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, I think that like wraps up. If you're trying to get with a glucose guardian, this is your way. We have shown you the lights. Please do not
You're
fuck it up.
welcome.
Do not fuck it up, okay?
But safety first, though, because I heard that some of these niggas is those that they used to smash babes. So if someone should bring out snake and they say they want their snake to smash you.
Yeah, do your
So
research.
exactly,
Definitely do your research before you
the
do
fact
anything.
is somebody wants to shit on
But,
you,
but,
and
but,
you
it's
two are
also,
there.
but that's the thing. There's also that aspect of
40K,
the fact
so
that
missing.
no, the fact that girls do get scammed, and some of you.
Yeah.
That's why I say you have to wise up, because if somebody that has power now, one of these rich politicians, the guy should smash you, and then he says, "I take transport 5K. What are you gonna do?" So you have to actually
cry
have
tears,
a hard
man.
chest and be ready to chow your
Else.
Else.
because these babes are posting the 5K. They will not tell you the 5,000 naira that they collected before
Hey,
they hammer down.
God.
So it's a dangerous. Yeah, it sounds sweet, but to be honest, you have to have that mind, though. You really have to have that mind, because it's a scary.
I
game.
just don't have the mind for someone
Minus
to be shitting on
acid
me.
from the wives, if you're following with wives.
Oh my days.
So your safety is a
Or
high,
the
it's
ones
actually
that
a high
do
risk.
jazz, bro.
It's
Are
actually
we
a
not
high
gonna?
risk. No, that's why I say it's a very high risk. If you want to go in there, you have to have strong mind, because it's actually a high risk profession.
It's not for
it
the
sounds
faint-hearted.
sweet, but I mean, see that one that went to confess how she kidnapped her husband's 4 side chicks and she made them
That
So those are the risks of the profession. It's not all about the glamorous
that
life. You have to be
lady-
ready. You have to be
Sis,
ready.
wherever you are, you have energy.
I
That's true.
swear, I salute you. As in, I bend leg for you, because damn, girl, that story
Never
was
say
insane.
never, boss. Could never be me, sha. I mean,
but-
it might be nice to mess with those people.
Omo,
sha,
I
but
would say never,
sha.
bro, because it's
That's a
just
bit much,
like
bro.
your love is deep, and that's kudos to you,
And
madam.
she too said, excuse me, share the facilities now.
Yeah.
She kept buttressing how she has enough money, she's not lacking anything. Allow your constituencies to chop now.
Here you go.
Why are you holding resources? This is why Nigeria is the way it is today.
I'm so dead.
It's okay. Let the young girls have school fees.
Understand?
He's investing in the economy.
This is what
Honestly,
it
me,
is.
I'm all for people fighting for their love. So if that's what it took, congrats to you, sis.
Did you really fight for love, or did you make a fool out of yourself? And I mean, your man he's afraid of you, but does he respect you?
And other stories.
And
Okay, guys. Today's conversation was awesome. Thank you so much, Hausa Chocolate, for joining us. This was awesome.
I had such a good time.
So you guys, don't forget to follow the Tea with MT Pod on all the DSPs. We're coming through very soon with some new content on Instagram, live events, and other things happening soon. So watch this space, okay?
Hey guys, we're playing Never Have I Ever today. We're gonna get started. Okay, now. Are you ready? Okay, cool. Sorry. Never have I skinny dipped. Either of you.
Oh, if you're done, you drink, right?
Yeah.
Not all three.
Oh, I have. Never have I ever.
If you say you skinny dip, you have to tell us how.
Oh,
Tomorrow now, you tell us 5
seen?
minutes.
You must tell us how. No.
It was just a
Actually,
day.
my story was very interesting though.
Yeah.
I was in a boarding school in the UK, and one of the you know how like in like America they have like all these initiations. In my house, every house had a different initiation. So in my house, all the newbies had to you'd have to wake up at like in the middle of the night, we stay in one room downstairs which was like had a door that allowed you to go out into the forest behind our house. And we had to all strip and then run 10 times around the house without getting caught. Like butt naked. This is the UK, so it was freezing cold September, and you would literally strip and run around the house 10 times. And then there was like a pool, so like at the end of the day, we had our housemaster like screaming, running outside, so everybody just jumped in the pool. So yeah.
Mine was just a drunken night with someone I liked, man.
I mean, I was literally expecting to hear some romantic sexual story.
It was just
Save my life.
a drunk night with somebody I liked, man. Like,
fighting for
who
my
doesn't want to
life.
do that? So,
This guy said,
Anyway.
don't kill me.
never have I had an orgasm in a public place.
No.
Can we drink in
Can
silence?
I I'm about to say, can I drink again? Please?
Can we just drink in silence and move on? Okay.
You guys, not gonna talk about that one.
Never have I picked my nose or sneezed into my hands and wiped it on somebody.
Wipes it on somebody.
On someone.
That's a bit much. No.
No, that's
No,
just
that's-
disgusting.
You know, I thought she was going to say eat my booger. I was like, oh, okay, but
Okay. Never have I used someone's toothbrush that I was sleeping with.
God, no.
Hell no. I don't care.
Like, it's
if-
so funny when people say,
I exchange liquid.
you exchange saliva, bro.
don't care. I can
I
never.
know somebody who doesn't even share
See.
cutlery. I'm like, hello, this person was all up in your enzymes. And you're like,
I don't give a shit. I am not using your toothbrush.
I'll use this, please.
Wow. Me,
Like-
I just feel like if you guys are physical with each other, it's just good. When you build an emotional, it's like a step in the relationship.
That's a very dirty step. That's a very dirty ass step.
I typically wouldn't. I like to have my own stuff all the time, but if I find myself without a toothbrush, I mean, I just think it's normal. I don't think it's that deep.
It's actually, I mean, I would take lollipops from people's mouths, even my friends. So why would I use someone's toothbrush? You know, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to say this, but never have I never have I had a cum facial.
This fucking bitch. You guys, I can't deal with my Luby. I swear to God. This nigga said bukkake.
No,
Okay.
Bukaki is more than one person.
They need to go do their research.
Yeah, Bukaki is a trade of niggas all, you know.
I think that wraps it up, basically. Thank you guys for joining. You guys came through
One
today.
last
We love
question.
you.
Never
Yeah.
have I ever eaten ass. Cheers, bitch.
No shame in my game.
And on that note, I rest my case.
No shame in my game.
Alright, guys.
I give as much as I
Awesome.
expect to
I really
receive. No shame.
Thank you very much for coming through to the Tea with MT. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Clout. Reach out.